Ooh. Okay. Hello and welcome to Moms of Flavor Town.
Deedly, 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 doo.
I am Rachel
I am Debbie.
and we are here for a very exciting week. It's week one of the TOC VII qualifiers.
Yay!
Debbie, you are coming to us live from Philadelphia.
That's right. I am in Philadelphia, PA. Um, we went for a couple nights just to, get out of our house.
Yeah.
And it's great. I love Philly so much. It's like one of my favorite cities.
We just went to our friend's house in Brooklyn for the afternoon to get out of our house because when it's a long weekend, you cannot stay home the whole time.
No,
It's
definitely
impossible.
not. Yeah, we got here yesterday. We're leaving tomorrow morning. It's like the perfect amount of time.
Yeah, it's nice to get out of town.
Hmm.
Before we get started on TOC stuff, I wanted to share a really crazy story that happened to me today, which I didn't tell you yet, that is about Reddit. So if there's any Reddit people listening, then ears perk up, please. But this is about the bright side of Reddit.
Hmm.
So you know how I go away on vacation to a Club Med each year?
Yeah.
I love Club Med. I won't apologize for it. And I, of course, as with all my interests, I am in the Club Med Reddit. I'm on that
Hmm.
sub, as they would say. And when this year when we left, I accidentally left my house and car keys in the hotel room.
Oh
Like,
no.
I know. I left like my wallet in the safe, and I
Hmm.
remembered to take that, but the keys were in like the drawer next to the bed, and I'm like so mad. I'm like I should have kept my wallet and keys together so I
Hmm.
would have remembered them. Anyway, I just didn't open that drawer when I was leaving, lost my keys. So I've been like calling Club Med and like not the 1-800 number, like the actual hotel. And
Hmm.
like people kept being like, oh, we'll check with housekeeping and get back to me. Nothing. So I posted in the Reddit because like what it's not like if I like left my wallet whatever like of course
Right.
someone's gonna steal it but like no one has any reason to steal my house keys. It's
Right.
like so I posted in the Reddit just being like does as in the Club Med Reddit like does anyone have any experience getting anything back like from Club Med if you left it there.
Hmm.
And people were like, oh, like you can never get it through the hotel. Like they're just like not helpful with that. But what people have had help with is like, talking, like finding other guests that are still there to go ask them.
Oh.
And then someone in the Reddit was like, oh, I'm at that same Club Med right now. And I DM them and like sent them like they're like, do you have a picture of your keys? I didn't have like an actual picture, but I was like, here's kind of what the fob looks like. This is
Yeah.
like the logo that's on my keychain. I have a
Yeah.
NASCAR keychain. I was like, here's the logo
Amazing.
that's on
Perfect.
my keychain. And they DM me today on Reddit that they have sent me a picture. They have my keys.
Yay.
So now, like this, like random kind stranger is gonna send them back to me, and I, of course, offered to Venmo them or Zelle them for the price of the shipping,
Hmm.
and they were like, "No, just do something nice for someone else."
Oh, I love
So
that.
I know. So Reddit is nice sometimes.
I honestly have never had a really bad experience. I've had like mildly bad, but not like
Yeah,
really bad. Like I go a lot on aquarium because of my fish and my shrimp and stuff. And there's a lot of like, oh, why didn't you do it this way? Like kind of people in those
yeah,
threads, like that are just like annoying, but they're not. It's just
yeah.
annoying. It's
No,
not like,
exactly. I feel like it's not like the worst of the worst people on there, but
yeah.
people do spout off. But also, like, I think like having these like anonymous, like shared interests also makes it like it does make it more of a community in some ways,
Mhm.
because people are not just looking at you because you're hot or something,
Right.
which is usually the problem me and Debbie have is that people.
It's so true.
Okay, well, we actually are going to have a very special guest joining us halfway through the episode. It's probably obvious who it is if we haven't already said it on the podcast, but we'll let it be a surprise for today. But for now, Debbie, should we start recapping the TOC
Yeah,
qualifiers episodes 1 and 2?
hell yeah, let's do it.
So these were crazy, I feel
These were
like.
crazy. That I feel like this is really showing how much TOC has is like leveling up as far
Yes.
as like shows in general. Because every single chef on here, except for one, and I'll tell you who later, um, I was like, oh my God, like it's like shocking that they weren't even already on the
Yeah.
panel, you
Well,
know?
first of all, poor Stephanie Izard. I feel
I
like
know.
I almost like it's almost like I respect her that she is even willing to do the qualifiers because
Yeah.
like I agree she hasn't done well on TOC. That's obvious.
Yeah.
But like it's just like like being like as far as like she's gone in her career and then like being in the qualifiers, I kind of like felt like it was like embarrassing.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at okay, so um you know, there's I feel like because it's such a fun competition, people are like, you know what, I'm just gonna fuck it. Like I'm just gonna
Yeah.
do it, you know?
And yeah, like anybody can like it can be anyone's year anytime. So
Hmm.
it's true. So okay, so this is gonna be in the qualifiers, there's going to be 8 spots available. So I guess that's the seventh and eighth seed in each bracket
And
will be
that's also
available.
like that's a large percentage right there. Cause
Yes. So yeah, so it's a lot of people who are going to get into the main bracket.
Mhm.
And it's going to so and it's only going to be head-to-head battles. So half of these people are getting in. So like that makes me feel better. Like
Yeah.
remember the year in the qualifiers where they like were groups of 4 and one from each
Hmm.
group of 4 got in? Like that's hard.
Yeah.
This you just have to win once.
Yeah.
So that's good. There was one point when Kelsey was like, to me, just moving on from this battle would be winning. And I'm like, yeah, that's literally what winning is.
Yeah.
All you have to do is move on from this battle. And that's like, you won the qualifiers.
Right.
Okay, so Hunter comes in with the balls. He's got those big balls. And did you notice that the ball roller like didn't work?
Yeah.
Like the balls did not come out. They had to
Yeah.
reach in and grab them, which was funny. So the first battle is Brittany Anderson, friend of the pod, versus Artie Sequeira.
Oh,
And she says she's turned down TOC before, which I guess makes sense because she's like Guy's friend.
yeah. Also, like, what a matchup. I was actually really pissed that the
Me
two of
too.
them were matched up together.
I was pissed, and like Spencer was like, "Who are you rooting for?" And I was like, I had to root for Brittany because
Yeah.
I know her now.
Right.
Like I like her. I like watching her and also like I know her and I just like felt like I wanted her like since she failed before I like wanted her to succeed but like already didn't try before. So I was like
Right.
it's fine if it's not her year. But I like them both and I was
Yeah.
pissed about the matchup. I mean a lot of the matchups were frustrating.
Yeah.
So for their randomizer they get pork tenderloin, grape tomatoes, juicer, fried in 30 minutes. Artie is saying she still considers herself a strong home cook. Like she's not like a restaurant chef.
Hmm.
So I was like, I don't want to be like a snob because I'm a home cook, obviously, but I was definitely like rooting for Brittany kind of because of that, you know?
Yeah.
But I also like I did root for Artie on Next Food Network Star 1,000
Hmm.
years ago. Like I like Artie.
Well, it's interesting. Sometimes I think that being a home chef might be to an advantage than working in a restaurant because you have access to very limited ingredients at the time,
Mm,
right? Like you have to still be creative more often, I feel like, at home than you do if you're working in a restaurant where you have like a set menu and things are bought and sold like in set
totally.
ways, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. So Artie is doing a pork 65, and she says chicken 65 is a classic Indian dish, which I was shocked that I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but it sounded delicious.
Yes, it sounded delicious. And yeah, I just like I understand that like Indian food in India is like different than Indian food in the US, but I just assume that like in Queens we know about it.
Yeah. Not to be snobs or
Yeah, but you
anything,
know what I
but
mean. It's just like so
yeah.
that was cool. And Brittany is making borscht, and Justin is shocked. I love this angle. I think
Yeah.
Brittany would have been more successful if she did like a pork like schnitzel or something with the borscht
Hmm.
instead of the way she did it. And Brittany has a bunch of fried stuff to put on top of her
Yeah.
borscht. I mean, Brittany's dish, honestly, like I feel like that I would definitely order that at a restaurant.
Oh, 1000%. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. Like if she coated it, because she did coat it, but if she coated it in some breadcrumbs,
Yeah.
even if they didn't add anything, it would have made the judges think
Yes.
about that more.
Totally, because it was very close. So I think that that
Hmm.
could like put her over the edge. So the judges are Antonia Lafaso, reigning champ, Mei Lin,
Hmm.
previous champ, and Alex Gurnishelli. And I just always think it's funny when everyone still has to act shocked who the judges are.
I know. They're like your coworkers. You're like, oh my
I, yeah.
God. It's
And I mean, obviously, it's a great panel of judges, but like, especially Antonia and May are like two of the most obvious possible judges for this.
right.
And then like Alex is like, like is a frequent Food Network judge. So like,
Right.
I love them all. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's just so funny. They all think, oh my God, these judges.
I also love May's outfit. She
Oh,
looks awesome.
she looked so good. And also like, we just been talking to Nini about it's like to me it's so funny because like May in some ways is like larger than life because she's
Hmm.
this champ, she's a top chef winner. But then like I remember she's like best friends with Nini, who's like very relatable to me. And I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
like May's like a normal girl, but she
Yeah.
just
She
like
just
has this
puts on a
vibe of
good, like competing face. You know what I
yes,
mean? Like she's like very good about like
yes.
pulling it together.
She totally seems like she's like like a untouchable person or something.
Yeah.
So Tiffany roots for Artie. She made the poor 65. And Mei Lin says that the chef brought their A game. It's spectacular. Alex says the beans in the sauce make it grainy. And Antonia says there's bare pieces of pork, but it's delicious. So they
Hmm.
really love it. Then Justin reads for Brittany. She made pork tenderloin with borscht. Alex thinks that she loved the beets as the answer to the riddle of I was gonna say the basket, but the
Hmm.
randomizer.
I thought it was
uh
really smart because the getting the red there makes you think of
yeah,
tomatoes. Like
because
knowing, yeah,
whenever you juice tomatoes, they never look as red as you think they're gonna look.
right.
Yeah. And May says it's a good borscht, but it's the wrong plate. And Alex says that there's stronger fry on the first, stronger juice on the second. So there's
Hmm.
like two randomizer things. The score is 80 to 83, and the winner is Artie. And I'm
I
happy for
honestly,
Artie. Yeah.
I'm happy for Artie. I'm surprised the spread was that big, honestly. Like I
Yes.
thought it was gonna come down to the wire a lot more.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm happy for Artie. I'm sad for Brittany, but
Hmm.
she'll be fine. And also, Brittany just kept mentioning her divorce, and like I didn't. I feel like she hasn't really mentioned that previously, because like
Yeah.
I had known that like like on Top Chef she was married, and like now she's not. But like I didn't
Yeah.
know she was like currently going through a divorce or whatever. So
She has, I think she already divorced because she has a partner that she
yes,
posts about who seems really
yes,
cool. Yeah.
totally, yeah. So good for you. Congratulations on your divorce, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next battle, they pull out the balls, and it is Katsuji versus Chris O.
Oh my God, this is so funny. So my kids started turning in to while I was like watching this because we're all in a hotel room and Charlie was like cheering on Katsuji. And I texted Rachel being like, oh my God, Charlie's cheering on Katsuji of all people. And you brought up the excellent point that Katsuji is just basically like a 6-year-old.
Yeah, I totally understand why Charlie. I feel like
Yeah.
Charlie just like that would be my friend. Like
Right.
same energy, Charlie and Katsuji, and like I know Katsuji is like leaning into the villain thing, but
Yeah.
it's like it's just been so long since he was first on Top Chef, and like just I feel like his character, I'm bored of it.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm like, ooh, I love to hate him. I'm like, this is boring. Be a grown up, and if you're so good at cooking, which obviously he is good at cooking, just do that.
Right, right. You don't have to do the whole thing. Like even Marcel and people like they drop their act,
Yeah,
like just
totally.
do it. Just
It's very, he was being very annoying. So the
yeah.
randomizer is rockfish, carrots, potato masher, grilled, and they have 31 minutes.
Hmm.
And Chris O has a jumpsuit on and says like a chef's coat, and it says chef on the back in quotes. It's like scare quote chef. And Chris O is someone who's so funny to me. Like I feel
He's
like I
so
would probably
hot.
I will see. Okay, I understand he's hot, and I feel like I would
Uh,
love his food, but he's just so cheesy to me. Like he's like the most like cheesy Bushwick bro. You know what I mean? Just like
yeah.
all of the like accoutrement of like like I feel like he's trying to look like a fuck boy. You know
That's
what I mean?
probably why I find him so hot
No,
though.
exactly. But the thing is, I feel like that I would have found him really hot like 15 years ago, and
Right.
now I
I
like
would
have
have
the
dated
ick.
him.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I agree. He's hot. Anyway, so Katsuji jumps over the table. He's doing so many like acrobatics in this episode. Um, and Chris is doing rockfish curry with grilled carrots, potato mash, And Katsuji wants to keep it very simple, and he's doing grilled carrots with grilled rock chip and carrot rock fish and
Mhm.
carrot top salad. And Katsuji is like going crazy, trying to like rev up the crowd. He's doing shots, and Justin, who we're going to talk to soon. I'm sorry, spoiler. That's who's joining us. He keeps saying I feel like Justin like has like audible disdain for Katsuji this whole episode. Where it's and Justin says like, oh, he's laughing, but the randomizer has the last laugh.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you're competing, you have a set amount of time, like maybe like one shot
Yeah.
or one crowd rev up, but like when it was like one thing after another, it's like
Yeah.
you do want to lose, like
It's and Justin says nothing has been mashed by Katsuji. And it
mhm.
just seems like he kind of thinks he's better than the randomizer or
Yeah.
something. So Justin reads for Katsuji. It's spicy grilled rockfish with carrot and herb salad. Antonia said it's delicious, but it's not mashed. And Mei Lin says she's looking for more carrots.
Hmm.
Then Tiffany reads for Chris O with rockfish curry with carrot puree. Antonia said there's not enough mashed carrots, too much potato. Alex says the fish is really good. May says it's a beautiful curry sauce. And May says, do not put a burnt peanut on a plate ever. And when she says that, Katsuji starts doing like pull ups in his trailer. Like, oh yeah. And I think it was only the peanuts why Chris lost, pretty
That's what
much.
I was saying. And I was like, but and that's so weird because the peanuts were like like they were an added
Yeah.
thing at the end. They weren't like integral for the dish.
Yeah.
And they clearly liked his dish
Yeah.
better,
And I mean, I
except
think
for
his
the
dish
peanuts.
was a better. So anyway, the score is 78 to 76 and Katsuji wins.
Ugh.
And I just wrote oof.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta for Chris O, it's gotta be hard to lose to Katsuji
Yeah.
also. Just like seeing like that clown beat me.
Yeah.
So that's the end of episode 1. And then episode 2 starts, which like I
Hmm.
remember this from last year. Ah!
Now Justin's on.
What's up? What's up?
Hey
Hey.
Justin, how's it
Thank,
going?
good. Thanks for your patience. Sorry, I'm kind of scrubby too.
Oh,
No.
no, of course. We are so excited you're here. We just finished recapping episode 1 of the qualifiers. And we were just going to move on to episode 2, but we were just talking about when you were the when you were the commentator for Katsuji. And
Yeah,
you said the randomizer has the last laugh, but unfortunately you were wrong.
yeah, that's true. I think Katsuji and I are kind of cut from the same cloth in that
Uh-huh.
he makes TV,
Yeah.
and so therefore I had to as well, you
Yeah.
know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So like we've never seen anybody like Katsuji in that arena,
Yeah.
in terms of energy, bravado, chingon energy, you know.
Yeah.
And so like I have to just, as a person who's trying to like make good TV, I have to like provide a little bit of counterbalance for that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Totally.
Oh yeah.
and also, you know, I'm
It could
kind
have,
of
I mean,
I get, I don't know, I'm just kind of like you have to respect that arena, you know what I mean? Like
And I
you,
think that
you
if someone is like intentionally playing the heel, you can't like be like, oh, like he's trying to piss everyone off. And
yeah.
I think it's okay for you to like get a little pissed off by that because that's like part of the game, right?
yeah, and I think that like yeah, so I gave the audience like a little bit of that sort of, oh, he feels the same way I do. Oh
Yeah.
wow, Zoom for workplace just finally loaded. Dang it, sorry guys. Anyways,
It's okay.
so yeah, I think that was kind of it. I knew that that was gonna surface, and I knew that it would make the edit, but like I just think that when you're in the qualifiers, like
Yeah.
save that energy for the main bracket and save that energy for slaying a giant. On
Uh-huh.
the other end of
Mhm.
this spectrum, you see somebody like Kevin Lee, who's about the quietest person ever, who took out TOC champ number 1 Brooke Williamson.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
that's just, that's it. And then also it's like, I don't know, I've just never been the guy who does shots while, during, or after a culinary competition. I wait until the cameras stop rolling, and like I get
Yeah.
it, like it's part of the culture, of his culture, I guess. But for me, it's just, I don't know, man. It's an arena, you know.
Yeah. I
What we
also
were
like,
saying is that like his season of Top Chef, where he like originated that character, right, of like the guy who pisses everyone off, was so long ago that like we kind of feel like that he could give it a rest now and just like be himself and like, do the good cooking that he obviously is good at cooking. He's won a
mhm,
bunch of stuff. So that's like our as viewers, we're like,
mhm.
like we would be okay if you stopped playing your character and just like cooked your food. But obviously he's committed to the bit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's art imitating life, you know.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like I speak Spanish, and like there's like a phrase like you learn a new language, you get a new soul, and so I very much have like my Spanish speaking personality.
Mhm.
I like to think it sounds like Antonio Banderas, but if Antonio, you know what I mean, the
Yeah.
reverse of that. Como se dice? Ah, yes, ketchup. Anyway, uh, and so like we had like a bond there and chatted there, at the hotel
Mhm.
and whatnot. Like there's no bad blood, and I
No.
I think it's just like real recognize real. Like we all got to make a TV show, and if that's the role that he's going to inhabit, then I get to be the tenured grumpy
Hmm.
sideline reporter.
Yeah. Well, so a lot of times when you have like said something like that, like when you like know, like you also said like, oh, he didn't mash anything with the masher. A lot of times that's like foreshadowing to what the
Hmm.
outcome's going to be, and then this time it was not. It was a
Yeah.
little bit of a shocking upset. So like I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe in the edit bay, they maybe in the past have relied a little too much on my foreshadowing.
Hmm.
Ah,
And so like I think, everybody says like, if I and I hate to make a sports analogy, but like
I
well,
mean, it
well
is a sports show, really.
it is, but like, well, John, from up here it looks like, well, yeah, and I think the rule says that, and then Fred comes on and says, well, I'm in New York, and as a matter of fact, this is how it played out. So
Uh-huh.
like I can't always get it right, and I also can't always see how every cookie is going to crumble, and
yeah.
also like if um ultimately, in that deliciousness category, flavor can beat everything. Like you have to be able to
Hmm.
tick the box in some way, otherwise it
Hmm.
could result in a DQ. But I guess what I'm saying here is, like if he smashed, if he smashed flavor but didn't mash the food, there's a way
Yeah.
you could still make it.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so let us just quickly run through episode 2, just the blow by blow, just quickly, because then I want to ask you some general questions about TOC 7, which I'm really excited to ask you about.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna do okay. So for episode 2, the first battle is Kelsey Murphy, MasterChef winner, who I really am not very familiar with, versus Kenny Gilbert, the Beast of the Kitchen, who I am familiar with from 15 years ago on Top Chef. I remember loving him on Top Chef.
Yeah. I loved Kenny. And also Kelsey, I remember because she was on 24 and 24.
Yes.
So
Um,
that's how I really actually knew her.
So they did ground bison, red potatoes, melon baller, cheesy, 28 minutes. Kenny did a bison shepherd's pie, which I thought was smart gameplay.
Hmm.
And Kelsey did bison meatballs a la buffalo. And yeah, so Justin, you were with Kelsey. What did you think about her bison meatballs while she was doing it?
Um, yeah, I was into it. Bison in general, I cook a lot of bison. Bison tends to be a very lean protein.
Hmm.
So I think giving a fat component in the form of cheese on the inside is good. But I think where I was a little head scratch as just a spectator
Hmm.
is like cheesy. Like when we look at that in our mind's eye, assuming we have one. I see the color yellow. I see
Hmm.
drip. I see
Hmm.
goo. I see
Yeah.
Hasselhoff bronze.
Hmm.
And so while it may be cheesy, and while that I think it was blue cheese in the center, right?
Yeah.
Gorgonzola, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gorgonzola. Yeah, man. So I actually think like the sort of animalian flavor of bison with that sort of funky blooch is a great flavor move. I think
Mhm.
also coating the meatballs and then doubling down on kind of like the entendre of bison, buffalo, etc., which
Mhm.
someone DM'd me about. We'll pick that up later.
Mhm.
Um, I thought it was all good. I definitely thought it could have won competition cooking because of its cleverness and because of the thoughtfulness in the way it all was playing out. But here's the thing, like taking a ground animal, turning it into shepherd's pie. What was the produce for that?
Was the red potatoes.
I mean, come on, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
It looks like a Lego instruction manual at that
Right.
point.
totally.
And some people can just crack the code that simply and
Yeah.
say
Mhm.
like, this is the combination.
Mhm.
And if you've got the combination, judges see that and they say, "Oh, that is the combination."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And so it's
he had
very
the
hard to beat when somebody, you're dribbling all over the court and trying to dunk from half court and so on, sports analogy. Um, and somebody just sidesteps and lays it up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
yeah.
just like
Well,
Yeah.
it's a
he had
toughie.
more of like that cheese pull you're talking about also. Like when they
Yeah.
pulled up the like that
Like
and
his looked like cheesy. Like it
yeah.
looked the moment you put your eyes on it,
It
Yeah.
looked
reminds
cheesy.
me of, do you remember Chip Shop in New York City when they had like the British chip shop place?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They
In
used to
Parksville.
have a shepherd's pie that was covered in mac and cheese instead of potatoes.
Mm.
And that was like my number one hangover. I would order it hangover like to my apartment in Park Slope. It reminded me of that. It was really good. But
Yeah, that
yes.
sounds. Wait, Justin, I want to go back to the bison thing. You work with a lot of bison on your menu, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's our like we didn't choose to make it our signature ingredient, but the
Uh-huh.
public did. And Guy also put it on Triple D.
Oh yeah.
So like somebody DM'd me and said bison and buffalo are not the same species, of which I have been wildly aware for a very long
Yeah,
time.
I would imagine.
But I would like to point out that etymologically speaking, Europeans came over, saw bison, said buffalo, like we saw in Asia.
Hmm.
uh
Um, but various native tribes had their own special word for it.
Hmm.
However, as native languages were subsequently erased and people were not explaining the idea of they're two different species, um, the word buffalo in English has a slightly more sacred meaning to other people than bison because
Hmm.
buffalo is the word that has been used in the stories that were told in English.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it got picked up in edit, but I live in stolen land, Lakota territory, and
Hmm.
I try and be as respectful of that as possible. On my menu, I write bison because I purchase it as such.
Hmm.
And I have that word does not mean what it means to other people,
Hmm.
mhm.
to me.
Hmm.
So, when I'm speaking with people who venerate this, and who use that, I'm not going to like correct them and be like, "Excuse me, sir, you were here before I was, but they're two different species."
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah. Well, I
Totally.
hope that that person who DM'd you is listening to this because, I
They
just feel
Yeah.
like
didn't
it's
even get a
annoying.
red. They didn't even get a red out of
Good
me.
on.
I read it, but I didn't accept it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you heard it. You heard it here.
Yeah.
I had some of the bison. I had your bison ramen when I came to your restaurant. It was
you
delicious.
sure did.
Um, okay. So Kenny wins that battle. And then when Kenny came out, in his victory, Hunter was not there to talk to him. But then later Hunter is back. So why do some people get to talk to Hunter when they finish and some people don't? Do you know that behind the
I think
scenes?
Hunter talks to everyone. I think just sometimes due to spatial constraints, there might be a different story that we have to tell.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or there might be like there could be some technical issue or
Hmm.
something could have been off or
Okay.
whatever. But I don't think it's like that was not like as far as I know, and I'm not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
As far as I know, everybody gets Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah. Do they shoot those immediately after, or are those things that are kind of done in?
The
later on.
second they walk out of the door after a guy says like we'll see you in the next round,
Mhm.
Hunter is there, and it's almost
Okay.
like it's I'm not saying it's an ambush cam,
Right.
it's like the wrong word, but
Yeah.
it's there to capture the um the holy F and S,
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
I just did that, that
Yeah.
that sigh of relief that we're going to Disney World, baby.
Yeah.
And
With
I'm
the
Yeah.
sure that
sweat
like
and the
I'm
Yeah.
sure that those of us who aren't taking notes aren't saying, wait a minute, we didn't see Kenny talk to Hunter, but some of us are taking notes on the episode. So.
I'm
Yeah, I mean,
shocked that you actually
like I said, I'm not in that section of the set.
Yeah.
There are times when no, I never interact. Actually, I see Hunter and Judge Landia, and that's about it. I'm never
Mhm.
in that winner's zone area. I'm always getting ready for the next round. There is a chance that like I don't know, Hunter had a lunch date or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I really, really don't think that was the case.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, interesting. Okay, so but Hunter is back then for the balls coming out
Mhm.
of the ball contraption, and they pull Daniel Jacobs versus Joe Flam, and this is a crazy. Like I was shocked to see that this was the matchup
Yeah.
personally. And we Debbie and I recap Top Chef, so Daniel Jacobs, we're very well acquainted with him from his recent Top Chef season.
I'm gonna say something really horrible.
Oh no.
And Justin, you can tell us if we need to edit this out before it airs. But Joe Flam, I have very little memory of from all of his stuff. Like he's just like
Really? See,
he's
I remember him very well, and
that's
I
so funny.
especially remember him in this most recent season of Top Chef, or not the most recent, Dan's season of Top Chef, two
Yeah.
seasons ago, when he was always like having like a. Remember that we were saying that we were joking that him and Kristen were sleeping together, and people got mad at us about it. Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay.
But still to this day, like even that, like when I saw him pop up on the screen, I was like, oh yeah, that's what he looks like. I
Okay.
just like can't even he
I
just
have I don't have that issue with but I thought that Joe is a Top Chef winner,
oh, yeah.
and I really thought that he was going to make it through, first of all.
I didn't even
um
remember his season.
d-
What season was he?
Joe,
Yeah,
a few seasons ago. But
it's
Justin,
okay.
he won Colorado, right? Yes, he won yeah, anyway.
Okay.
I'll fact check it later. But so Justin, what was your familiarity with these two before this episode?
Zero. I try not to be too involved in any food TV that I'm not personally on. I
Mhm.
like to know like okay, like there's a new host on Top Chef, or like whatever's in my like new like whatever's news to me,
Mhm.
I will put in the brain and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
I want to say that I was actually more familiar with Joe,
Mhm.
simply because he like pops up in my feed as like a podcaster and
Mhm.
collaborator with other chefs. And
Hmm.
I also feel like after having moved to South Dakota, I became a little bit more like involved socially speaking with like the Midwest scene.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I had not met or worked with either of them before.
Mhm.
Um, but like this is um TOC, and like when I'm doing my job, like it could be, a culinary icon
Mhm.
in one department that I've known about since I was 11.
Yeah.
And I would still just do my job,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's kind of it. If you can't remember somebody, that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's a criticism. You're not saying they're forgettable. You're just
Yeah.
saying you couldn't remember. Like
Yeah.
the
And
fault
I
is with
have
you.
I have mom brain mush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you
like
famously have face blindness.
I
And
do. I
yeah,
do, especially for no offense again, Justin, for white men. Like,
yes.
No, I get it, man.
And
I
then you
get
have
it.
Justin and Dan together, a white man face off of like the like the cheery Midwestern white men.
no, Joe, and yeah.
Oh, sorry, Joe. So Joe won. I was right. He won Colorado, so he competed against our good friend Chris Scott.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was I remember because like that was one of the seasons where like Joe was very good, but it was one of the seasons where it's like, oh man, another white guy won. There's all these diverse people on the season.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so the randomizer is shrimp, broccoli, mortar and pestle, poached 28 minutes.
Hmm.
Justin is with Dan, who's doing a poached shrimp salad with like Southeast Asian flavors, and Tiffany was with Joe doing olive oil poached shrimp with broccoli pesto. And Joe and Dan are really good friends, which I did not know before this. And Justin, how did you what did you think about this round? Did you have any culinary thoughts on this round when it was happening?
Again, it's the kind of thing where like, I think shrimp and broccoli, right? Like that's a menu item.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? Shrimp and poached is a easy technique. Like that's
Yeah.
very commonplace. Um, but that's what like the qualifier randomizers are about. Like
Right.
we don't ever intend for, at least as far as I know, the culinary department doesn't ever intend for good fortune to happen.
Hmm.
But in general, you're working with proteins and with techniques and with produce that are a little bit more common.
Hmm.
And like if you think about it, common ingredients, the reason they are common is because they play so well with others.
Hmm.
And so, this is like another randomizer where it was really just going to be um, who got in their own way, I
Hmm.
think. And who just kind of, hammered it and like pushed it and said, like, you asked for this, this, and this. Well, guess what you got? This, and this. And
Hmm.
that's it. When it comes to like poaching a shrimp, that's just cooking it in liquid.
Hmm.
And so that's a very difficult thing to judge outside of like how is the texture of the shrimp,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Because the only way that you can see poaching is that there is no browning on it. There's no Maillard reaction. It is probably not as curled up,
Hmm.
due to the contracting of proteins.
Hmm.
And it is also probably still has some degree of like that shrimpy snap. I don't know how to
Hmm.
better. It pops a little bit.
Hmm.
Totally.
Um, so that technique can very much be like a game of inches, right? Where
Hmm.
it's just like, okay, well, that if we're comparing the poaching of the shrimp, and obviously they weren't going to poach broccoli. If we're comparing the poaching of the shrimp, oh well, that one had a little more snap than the other one. I liked it
Hmm.
more.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe you could say, well, the poaching liquid really was the winner, but that's not how it works. Like,
Yeah.
like shrimp don't, when you're poaching, like shrimp don't absorb a ton of that like liquidy flavor. Like
Hmm.
you do it for aroma when it hits the plate,
Hmm.
or you do it for delicateness in the case of like oil poaching. But if you
Hmm.
were like poaching in a court bouillon or something like that, you would do it because it's meant to be, consumed quickly or
Hmm.
stored in the court bouillon cold, where it can slowly kind
So
of
that.
osmotically marinate. I
Hmm.
digress. Sorry. You asked
No,
another.
no, no. This is why we ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of those things where if one person I think doesn't, I remember the round now. I haven't tuned in yet, but this is one of those things I think where if one person doesn't turn it up to 10 in every single category of the randomizer,
Hmm.
even if they did 9.9, it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Joe, he said like, oh, like I'm not gonna throw on some extra broccoli at the end because that's not how I cook, and like that's like how and they love the dish, but it didn't hit the randomizer as hard, even
Right.
though they love the dish, right?
And like that's the whole part of the game. Like you have to really accentuate
Yeah,
each thing.
Yeah. That's not how I cook is an interesting, like congratulations on your hill. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like plenty
yeah,
of chefs say that, and I totally get it, but I don't know, like depending on like when I'm hired for a gig, I've been hired for kosher gigs. I've been
Hmm.
hired for vegetarian, gluten-free, so on and so forth. And
yeah,
I'm sure those options are all available on a menu, right?
Hmm.
But I cook on who's signing the check. Like
Right.
that's how I cook.
Right. I
yeah,
And so I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm like faceted. I'm saying that I have no principles, I guess. But as a person who makes a living off of food, I'm going to do my best to try and make a living, which is to say, like, yeah, I don't care what you want. Wear it as a hat. I literally tell people like all the time,
Mhm.
I don't care what you do with the food once it leaves my hands. Wear it as a hat, as long as
Mhm.
the check cashes, whatever.
And also like this is a very different game than like it's not like showcase your cooking. Showcasing your cooking is part of it for sure, but it's like it's so much more. They're like you
Yeah.
have to play the game. Like you
Yeah, it's
can't
literally a
just
game. It's a
yeah,
game with a prize, and you're trying to win
right.
the prize. Yeah.
And like you can't go in being like, "Oh, I'm an
Yeah.
Italian chef. Only going to do Italian food and I'm going to
Yeah.
like shoehorn everything into this like one style or whatever." Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like people on the traders that say that they're not going to lie. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Good for you.
Yeah. I think if you look at the champs, right? Like, what is Brooke Williamson's food? Mm,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Brooke Williamson's food.
right.
Yeah.
Uh, and like what is Tiffany Faison?
Mhm.
She, unbeknownst to her, made like Japanese inspired flavors and served it to Morimoto,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think that the winners of this show um have the ability to pivot, or they have such a depth. Like I look at Manit, the two-time champ, have
Hmm.
such a depth within their field that they can say like, this is how much I know and love about this cuisine, is that I can adapt anything to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm not pointing out fault in anyone
Hmm.
um that hasn't been a champ or has
Hmm.
stuck to their guns. Like those are all perfectly fine choices.
Hmm.
But I think really it's just like how flexible are you?
Yeah.
Can you do all the poses?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I've
Yeah.
actually seen Manit, if I remember correctly, like she's even kind of once in a while will like not do Indian just so that she can nail the whatever the challenge is, like so
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Totally.
Range.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so Dan won. So we're happy to see Dan in the bracket.
Hmm.
And now let's just move on to the part of our episode where we're just going to talk to Justin. I want to ask you a couple questions about TOC Christmas, then we'll move on to TOC 7. And we won't keep you too long because we know you're a busy dad.
No,
Um,
no, you have me. You have me.
okay.
I'm sorry about that dump episode. I really am. I just like, we had this windstorm in December and a bunch of trees got downed and I threw them in the
No.
back of my like little truck. I have this like Japanese mini truck. And it's already like a little bit of like an aesthetic eyesore because it's
Uh-huh.
so clearly very functional.
Uh-huh.
And but like when it's loaded with a dead tree from the middle of December, people start giving you the like, it's literally like my lights are still up. It's
Yeah.
like you haven't gotten rid of that dead tree yet. And so today was like, oh, I can do it. And
Yeah.
then I was like cruising. I also, the truck died and I had to jump
No.
it and all of this stuff, and so I was like, I'm
Mhm.
gunning it. And I was like, wait, I have a calendar, like, so please, now that you have me, you have me.
Yeah, well, we do consider you our third host, and you
Yeah.
are now
Aw.
the only person who has ever been on the podcast 3 times. We've had
Oh.
some other people on
Three-peat, man.
twice, but yeah.
Dynasty, baby.
Yeah.
So we are very excited to have you. Okay, so we haven't talked to you since TOC Christmas, which we loved. And
Mhm.
I need to ask you, did you bring your own outfits for TOC Christmas?
Not all of them. We now borrow. It's like a
Mm.
rotating line of fashion.
Okay. So you had someone to help. So, but you brought some stuff?
Yeah, they have a wardrobe department and
Mhm.
they trick it out. So like I did not own that blue sequin amazingness.
Yeah, that was
Um,
awesome.
but we might borrow a piece or a shirt from some suit that I have, or
Mhm.
like a tie from this or that from that, and
Mhm.
but yeah, in general, that's all the wardrobe department. That
Uh-huh.
they ask me to bring stuff and they might pull something from it, but in
Yeah.
general, like it's all them.
Well,
But
because
it's I feel like the clothes are very you though.
yeah, that's the thing is you always look so good and I feel like you have a very distinct style on the show. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, how much of this was Justin's decision?
No, they just know me very well and
Mhm.
are incredible. The head of wardrobe is named Jessica Vose. If she's listening, you're incredible as always.
Oh.
Jessica does things like finds vintage fly fishing ties. To say like, well, I think that would just give it a little pop, a little of
Yeah.
and
Do you get to keep
um
that one after? Because I know you like to fish, right?
that would be it, yeah. And like, season one, they gave me some like incredible, like, shoes, like loafery type shoes. And I said, guys, I'm sorry. Like I'm a chef. I wear clogs.
Hmm.
Um, and so they were like, cool, well, let's get them for you in, black, brown, and patent.
Oh,
Mhm.
And
cool.
great. And like the suits and stuff, like they just get it. And I think that they're like, it's like your fun professor or like the vintage businessman or like, it's a whole lot of fresh with a tiny bit of funk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I
And
mean,
I think, yeah, that's it.
that's something I really like about TOC is how
Mhm.
everyone is dressed, and especially actually the Christmas TOC is everyone
Mhm.
had like their own style, but like they all like were like wearing like the Christmas thing in their way, which I thought was
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah,
Do
it's incredible.
do
Yeah.
you think that the narrative of Brian Voltaggio never winning anything is gone for good, or do you think they're gonna keep it up this season of TOC 7?
It's hard telling not knowing.
Yeah.
Wait, I do know. It's hard telling not knowing. It's difficult. I've seen now after 7 seasons, I've seen people get big W's and then get big setbacks. I don't I can only guess at the psychology of why that is.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But it's like, after a long work week, you might play extra hard and then slack off a little next week, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that there is some degree of psychology to this because there are people that have been here for multiple years, right?
Mhm.
And TOC is very much like a season of performance for us. It lasts only like 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a
Mhm.
no, it's never been 4 weeks, 3 weeks at a
Mhm.
most, but
Wow.
um it becomes like a state of mind, right?
Mhm.
And it creeps up on you. And
Mm-hmm.
just like Christmas shopping or holiday shopping, I should
Mhm.
say, sometimes you should probably be thinking about it in spring,
Yeah.
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 And I don't know necessarily that, I feel like if you get a crushing defeat, I think you think about that and you keep it with you and you're like, I'm gonna come back. My teeth are
Mhm.
gonna be. But I think if you do better than you thought you were going to do, you're like, wow, I can do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But TOC is a knife that goes dull very quickly. It's like
Mhm.
just like a very soft blade, right? Like if
Mhm.
you're not in tune with it. Oh, and right, like Manit didn't even win back to back, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
See? And
Yeah.
I just think that that's you look at Antonia, right? Like
Mhm.
Antonia every single season and then
Mhm.
finally gets the dub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that Antonia ever came in soft, right?
Yeah.
No,
Like,
definitely not.
but
And
yeah, this
same,
is
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, we were talking about how like Stephanie Izard, it's like that's the whole thing. Like it's very interesting that she's in the qualifiers at this point and it's like kind of mind-blowing, but that totally makes sense. Like you're out of it for
yeah.
how 48 weeks of the year and then all of a sudden you're thrown in there and it just
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think you will see that as TOC goes on, I think you could probably do like a retrospective and like watch people's momentum line graphs, go
Mhm.
up, go da da da. And I think there would be some correlation depending on wins over seeds, right?
Mhm.
So like the more upsets you get,
Mhm.
the more you might rest on your laurels. The
Mm.
Mhm.
closer the battle is, the more you're like, no, I'm coming back next year and I'm getting revenge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. And so like too many close calls and you're like, I'm gonna win this thing,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I am dying. I know you can't tell us anything. I'm dying to see what happens with Jet this year.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod, Jet Tila, we love him. And like, I kind of was like, oh, like the TOC Christmas, it's his year, and then that
Mhm.
isn't, and it's like he's so close again, So I'm very curious what happens with Jet Tila this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think America is as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's
always.
my comment on
Yeah,
that.
I know you can't
Yeah.
tell us too much, but do you think they'll do TOC Christmas again?
I would love that.
Yeah.
Because I love that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it
I
was very fun.
also that was a hard job because you're covering two chefs and
Yeah.
they're two roads diverged, right? Like they
Mhm.
get the same randomizer, but then they go two different directions that ultimately ending up sweet or savory. And it gets very difficult when they start like alley ooping to each other, different ingredients
Mm.
and stuff. Um, or techniques like, well, we'll split this and I'll turn that into sorbet or whatever.
Right.
So very difficult to keep track of and cover. But like I'm insane for that kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
I really just I enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed the opportunity to talk about pastry. Like I think I've been like quasi, just kind of in the savory realm. I won't say
Hmm.
stuck, but like I've been able to articulate desserts. I've just never done it on
Hmm.
TV. I did it
Right.
as like a waiter my whole life, and
Hmm.
you know, um, I can talk about guar gum and
Hmm.
they're like pastry related things.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want your pie to bubble over, you need some maltodextrin, and like
Hmm.
um, I also think that in pastry, chefs who understand those little, molecular cuisine, I hate that,
Hmm.
understand how like different ingredients, different compounds can cheat a little bit.
Hmm.
Time, um, baking is like generally pretty long form.
Hmm.
And so like watching like Michael Voltaggio make something using agar like because gelatin isn't going to set quickly enough.
Hmm.
Like those I love that sort of stuff and I can talk about that and I think we're
Yeah.
always going to end up kind of leaning into that or
Hmm.
leaning into some ingredients that are maybe like maximally expressive but minimally used due to their
Hmm.
kind of obscure nature. So like feuilletine, for example,
Hmm.
appeared a lot during the holiday show, or like little freeze dried doodads, or like
Hmm.
obscura flavored chocolates. Like
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool because I love savory in my dessert. And I liked seeing how and I know that was
Yeah.
tough for you to like bounce between, but I always love seeing
Yeah.
like that kind of crossover.
Like when Ashley Holt did the carrot coins on her dessert. I'm like, that's
Hmm.
something I would order on a restaurant. I would
Oh yeah.
order like if there's like carrot coins on your dessert, done, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, leaning into it like that, I just think is so fun, and it's
Hmm.
very pastry is very different. I think you take a problem and you finesse it,
Hmm.
whereas savory, I think you take a problem and you like all I can think about is like squishing, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
get in there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But also it's like a very different. I don't know. It's like all stories in cooking kind of have to start the same way, and
Hmm.
Mm,
generally in the world of pastry, it's like with sugar,
Hmm.
yeah.
right? So like chapter one is always sugar,
Hmm.
whereas in savory it could be like a whole host of different chapters
Hmm.
of the direction that we're going to take this. But chances are pastry. Okay, well now that we know that we're playing within this realm, you
Yeah.
know, where do we go from here and how can we I don't know. I'm just saying it's a little bit mentally at least like perhaps at times a smaller playing field, which
Uh-huh.
doesn't mean
Hmm.
there can't be more excellence in it,
No.
Yeah.
if that makes
But
sense.
yeah, I mean, I think also, just memory wise, like you're not you're relying more on like exact science than in cooking. So it's just a very different kind of approach, I
Hmm.
feel like. I don't know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also I feel like that we saw like the pastry. I mean, we when we recap Bake Off, and also when we were doing Next Level Baker, I feel the same way. We're like the things that pastry chefs just know. It's different than the type of things that savory chefs have to just know. It's
Yeah.
like they have all these like formulas in their head that like for me, I can't wrap my mind around without like
No.
reading it, you know. And just like it's just a different. I love seeing that like different kind of intelligence or whatever. Like
Hmm.
I like seeing when someone is like really good at pulling stuff out. Like when we were talking to Aaron last week, he's like, "Oh yeah, I
Hmm.
just know all that stuff." They just
Yeah.
know these things that I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like pastry chefs are like they make the computer. Sometimes I think savory chefs make software. And I know
Yeah.
that like it's just different, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can plug any software into a computer, but you need a but software you does it it's a weird analogy,
No.
but what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
saying is you can make five different computers and kind of play the whole spectrum of software, right? Like you
Yeah.
Yeah.
can make venison savors, venison sweet, you can make, you know, pastry can be applied to many, many things if you know how to do it five ways,
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
right? But like savory, it's like I just feel like there's so you don't necessarily have any like formulas. You don't have
Hmm.
any like
Yeah.
hardware
Yeah.
is what I'm getting at in terms of what is a recipe, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
But like you take a croissant recipe or just even just a laminated dough recipe, right? Laminated dough can express itself, 100 different ways, not to mention the flavors that you put inside it.
Yeah. But you still have to follow a formula in that beginning part,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
else you're not gonna like have a laminated dough, you
Yeah.
know?
Ta-da.
It's so fascinating to
Totally.
me.
Okay, so let's talk TOC 7 now because I'm so excited.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you like want us to look out for? I mean, you've told us before, vague things to look out for, and we would love anything that we should look out for again.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This season was for me like I don't know, more of a blur than any.
Mhm.
Um I was very fortunate and unfortunate. I my dog became paralyzed and she was on set with me, and it was
Oh.
Oh,
very fortunate that she was able to be with me on set as
Mhm.
opposed to like at home with the kid jumping around and my wife
Right.
having to
yeah.
take care of the kid and the restaurants and the dog.
Mhm.
And so like I was just like a little bit distracted by like dog stuff. I even had to take her to
Mhm.
the vet while I was there.
I'm sorry.
And so on. Yeah, I mean, we let her go.
Mhm.
And Parade Magazine did an incredible like tribute piece on that story
Oh, that's
Oh,
from
so
the
wow.
baby.
nice.
I have to
Yeah.
make a note of that to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like there was no like I don't know, the parade piece at least there was no like yuckiness or like, this
Yeah.
controversial chef or whatever, they were just
Yeah.
like, wow, this poor man, and his
Yeah.
family. So I was a little distracted by that. And so I wasn't like in my trailer being like, oh boy, that's gonna be a nuggie. Like I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
wait until
Yeah.
that airs.
Yeah.
I don't think that there were any like I don't think there was any drama that I'm aware of. I don't think there were any like real explosions or
Mhm.
implosions. I think now like TOC has just kind of become this like a little bit of like a laser where the people that have been there know what to expect and the people that haven't have watched it. And
Hmm.
Mhm.
what that means for us is that the food and the technique is only going to get better. And I
Yeah.
think that it's just becoming it's becoming a better sport, every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. I mean, so
And go ahead.
I'm so what you bring up is exactly what I'm curious about. So they're having this twist with the four icons, right? There's gonna be four culinary icons. And I was
Yeah.
talking to my husband about it, and he was like, yeah, but like that's everybody on, like, there's so
Yeah,
many
exactly.
people
There's
on
so many
TOC that are
icons.
amazing already that it's like hard for me to. So everyone thinks, I know you can't tell us, you can't reveal anything, but everyone agrees that one of them is Bobby Flay, which I admit will be cool if that's true. Even I will admit I would love to see Bobby Flay compete on TOC. And my guesses for other ones, Debbie, I don't know if you have any guesses. People are saying
Mhm.
Michael Simon,
Mhm.
ICAG, of course. I mean, I know she
Mhm.
did the first season, but I think that would be a good way for her to come back. And then my last guess, I couldn't think of it. The last one was maybe Marcus Samuelson.
Mhm.
But I feel like that, like, I would love to see like an Eric Repair. Like, that would be
Yeah.
insane. But I don't know if that is just beyond the possibility, you know?
I feel like there
Um,
should be at least one person who's a judge but not as frequent as like a Bobby Flay or
yeah.
Alex, or like I think about, but we were going to talk about this. So Nancy Silverton, John and I were watching some show on Netflix. Well, do you remember what show I told you to?
No,
This is how mushy my brain is.
oh no, the Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh, Lincoln Lawyer, and Nancy Silverton played herself on Lincoln Lawyer,
Wow.
in an episode. So I was like, maybe she's gearing up to do something else. I don't know.
I know, Justin, you can't tell us, but are we going to be? I mean, I guess you can't tell us yes or no, but do you think that the culinary icons are going to be people that are very exciting?
Yeah, I mean 100%. It's like one of those things where it's like I said, it could be somebody that I've been studying since I was 11. I'm still going to do my job. So,
Yeah. Oh God.
I'm doing my best to
Daniel
contain my
Boulud. Sorry.
I'm doing my best to contain my excitement in the event that I cover them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um but let's just say that it's going to be nuts. Like it's like
Okay.
it's
Oh,
going to be wild. Like and I also think that when you see these icons, you're going to see why they are icons, and
oh.
you're gonna see because I think it's inferred a little bit that they have not been in the TOC arena.
Okay. See,
Okay.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be like, because some, I love TOC, and I'm not trying to talk any shit at all because I love it. But sometimes I feel like when they're like, I can't believe who these judges are. And I'm like, really? It's the same judges that we always And I love the judges, but I'm like, I'm not shocked that Kat Core is a judge. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
pretend I'm shocked when she's a judge, even though I love her. So that's why I'm like, are they really gonna shock me? I mean, I guess I
It
don't
sounds like they are.
if I really like I can like me and Debbie kind of love to talk a little smack on Bobby Flay because he's an easy guy to make fun of a little bit. But I think that if he was on TOC, that would be really exciting. Would you be excited, Debbie, about that?
I totally would because I feel like especially it's not his turf.
Put
You
your money
know.
where your mouth is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't unfortunately spoil like the biggest like
Of
Yeah.
course.
coolest thing about this season. But I think the beauty of this is that you will see how the energy in, when I say the arena, the room, the whatever,
Hmm.
the TV, your TV, I think it will be palpable how the energy changes and even how the crowd reacts and
Wow.
how I am studying this
Hmm.
because the icons, whether they win or lose, will be delivering a master class. It is a master class
Hmm.
by default, right?
Yes.
Right.
Whew.
And I just think TOC. I think is known for being a little bit harried at times, right? Like
Yeah.
that 30 minutes is as real as it gets.
Hmm.
And when you're an icon, you don't often have people telling you like immediately, like now
Right.
we need that 5 minutes ago, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Totally.
I
Well,
just think that it's going to be like a little bit of a social experiment, you know?
it
Hmm.
reminds me of Culinary Class Wars. You watch that show? Oh, you guys. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I at
you
least
take
know about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so they have, the white spoons versus the black spoons. And the black spoons, some of them can be very well respected chefs, but the white spoons are like on a more elevated level of like, yeah, like icons or whatever. So
Hmm.
it reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should start wrapping up a little bit.
I have one
Yes. Oh no, I,
question.
I want to ask more questions too, but you go.
Please, please.
It's just a soft initial wrap up.
Are you gonna ask a TOC question? Because mine is not TOC related.
Oh no, I'm done with TOC
Okay.
questions. Okay.
So my question is about the new Guy Fieri show that
Oh
they keep
yeah.
showing ads for. Are you part of that at all?
Um, in spirit.
Okay.
Okay. It's a Flavor Town fight. What is it called? That's what it's called.
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about it either, but I guess we'll look at
Yeah.
more into it
I
later.
am. So we were just at the Franklin Institute, and I am such a sucker for like a fake set, like a fake town set,
Yeah, I get it.
like give me that, and
Yeah.
I am so thrilled. Like I think that's so fun. So
Like
It is
Barbara
like a
Streisand's basement.
yeah,
yeah, it's a little bit of every person's dream, right? To be like, wow, a set, nothing's real.
right, yeah,
Like, right?
totally.
Because
I don't
like
know why.
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah, we're like surrounded with like real stuff, like
Yeah.
everywhere, like a hammer, a toy dinosaur,
Yeah.
keys that I don't know what they go to. Like it's all real, like
Yeah,
put on a set, nothing's real. Like,
totally wild. Yeah.
yeah. And also, while human beings have constructed everything, um, I think we kind of take for granted the intentionality and artistry in how you make a building. Like,
Hmm.
Hmm.
right, but a set, boy, that's different. Like that feels like
Yeah,
more artistry, right?
totally,
When
totally.
really you're just making less of a building.
Yeah.
You're just making the front of it.
Yeah.
Like
Me and my husband we disagree whether Flavortown's a real place. I say that since Flavortown exists, it's a real place, and he's like, no, it's fake because it's a set. But I think that it's real.
Is it real in your heart, Rachel? Because that's where it matters the most, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
I think it's more than that. I think it's a flavor. There's a flavor verse.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about this. Like I've in my head, like when I'm like bored, I'll just like think of ideas and like I love like and I'm a nerd, right? So like I would love if like the flavor verse became like an anime, right? With like
Hmm.
characters and like guys like this senpai, but like sort of like, the majorist character, but there are all these other little arcs and people
Uh-huh.
and notables, all with like, their own special power, their own forte in certain things, and various things happen. Problems happen, like,
Hmm.
food's not good, or like, we got a crowd to feed or whatever. Like, to
Hmm.
me, I think there's a way to like animeify like our little corner of the WWE, or whatever.
I would absolutely read the shit out of that. Like I was at the bookstore with Charlie, my older son, and he found actually like a graphic novel that was like uh, you know, uh, chef battles and like I forget the name of it. He took it home with him, so I'll send you the name of it. It looks awesome. He hasn't read it yet, but
Yeah.
I've
you
probably
should,
dabbled.
like you gotta like, hey, pitch it.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna
I'd
be.
watch it.
I'd watch the
Yeah,
shit out
we'll
of that.
see. I think Bourdain got really, really close with his Get Jiro book
Hmm.
and his Hungry Ghosts book.
Hmm.
But it's also very like extremely niche market stuff, right?
Hmm.
Like they're still selling, Buicks, I think. No offense to Buick. I did a Buick commercial. But you know what I mean? There's still a demographic in most food um media
Uh,
that doesn't really change. Like there's a point in your life where you end up here in the food world.
right.
And
Yeah.
it's generally not when you're like wanting to be into anime or vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah.
You know, you're not actively out fulfilling, you're doing some heavy vicarious fulfillment, right? Like that's
Hmm.
Mhm.
what cooking competition shows are about. I wish I could eat that. I wish I
Hmm.
could cook like that. Maybe I could cook like that.
Hmm.
Um, Whereas I feel like anime and comic books and superheroes and stuff are there to get you to a point. They're there to inspire you to keep going, to keep
Yeah.
doing
Hmm.
stuff.
Well,
And
sorry.
yeah. Anyway, that's it.
On Culinary Class Wars season one, which we just brought, there was one of the guys like so the black spoon chefs are not known by their real names. They have like a moniker, and one
Mm.
of them was comic book chef because the way that he learned how to cook is he would read comic books, and whenever there was food in the comic book, he would learn how to cook that dish. So that was like his
Yeah.
whole persona was like learning from the comic books he was reading. And it's funny because they'd be like, "Wow, I can't believe you learned this from a comic book." I'm like, "Well, he didn't really learn from the comic book. He was
Yeah.
inspired by the
But
comic
I
book."
mean,
But it's
like,
still a really cool thing, to like
yeah,
combine those interests.
I for Christmas and Hanukkah this year, I got John two different Studio Gilby cookbooks.
Oh,
Like,
cool. Yeah.
so.
Similar ideas. That's
Hmm.
awesome. Okay, so my next question for you though is what is being a dad like at this point in your son's life, in your career? What's new in Dad Town?
Well, it's the best.
Hmm.
And it also like, I have a Jeep, and it's not like the most practical vehicle for our family. It doesn't get
Hmm.
great mileage. It's got its quirks, right? It's a Jeep thing. There's a reason they say that.
Hmm.
Um, but my Jeep is like, I don't know, man. It just feels like that perfect office chair to me. It feels
Hmm.
like my space. It feels like my everything is just so like even the shrimp chip that my son has thrown up upon the dash. I look at it lovingly.
Yeah.
Like it's like that. And so I guess what I'm getting at is that like having my kid right now is incredible. It's even better than it's ever been before.
Hmm.
That being said, when I finally got him in the car seat today and sat in that seat, I like took like the hugest deep breath and was like,
Yeah.
you can't move now. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm doing the moving. You can say whatever you want, but I'm driving. Look at me. I'm anyway. He's three, extremely delightfully talkative,
Uh-huh.
um, delightfully manipulative, curious, fun.
Hmm.
For his birthday, we got him a TV VCR combo.
Nice.
Um,
Ooh.
yeah, so and the cool thing about it is like we just didn't explain. So he thinks it's kind of like a toy.
Uh-huh.
Like he doesn't understand that this is like an outdated way. And
Yeah.
I got him like a vintage Japanese tape rewinder that's shaped like a car.
Incredible.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so sick. And so like we watched like 1/4 of Rugrats in Paris last night on the
Oh,
VHS,
Amazing.
and I was like, like this may be screen time, but I think this is the coolest way to do screen time. Um,
I gotta say, it's different screen time because traditional, I don't know, like regular animation doesn't affect your brain the same way that like this new animation
yeah. And
well,
does.
also, it's like
go ahead.
they can't just skip between YouTube videos. That's like what
Yeah,
deregulates them, right? Is like, and they're like skip, 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 skip. So I
yeah.
love that idea.
Yeah, this is the complete opposite of on demand, and like he'll
Yeah.
like, while I'm like, buddy, we gotta wait for it to rewind, and I'm like, dude, if you want to see the poop joke again, we're gonna have to rewind it. And he'll like weigh the consequences, of like
Uh-huh.
sitting still for 45 seconds,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or laughing his ass off at the poop joke again.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, so just, I mean, every day is just like it's just full of, hazards and miracles. And
Hmm.
I'm just obsessed. I think right
Hmm.
now I'm kind of like in demand as a parent from
Hmm.
him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I think like dad stuff has kind of really started to click, like the
Hmm.
bond that my son and I, inherently have, because I don't know. I'm a dude, he's a dude, and I
Hmm.
don't mean to be like gender normative about it, but it's like he picks up something that I too also like
Right.
that mom may not have as much interest in directly for one way or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is
Um
his like thing right now? Does he have
uh
like a
yeah, it's like kind of normal robo, dino,
hmm.
samurai,
Hmm.
sword powers,
Yeah.
ninja, like when he's like running around, I'm like, buddy, I need you to press the slow button. And he's like,
Yeah.
you see that thing right here? This my button for slow.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, dude, like you're a robo powered kid, like
Yeah. Oh,
whatever.
I love that.
Press the slow button. Like but yeah, it's just cool and magical and fun, and I don't know, man. I'm just like, I think about it and I literally like just get lost for words, because I play the fun in my head, and
Hmm.
just like the absurdity and silliness, and the what it must be to have that much to feel and say and be so limited and want to do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
be so limited in your ability to achieve any of it is
Hmm.
it's wild. And
Yeah.
I can't believe I was ever 3,
Yeah.
like, because like I would have stayed there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rules. You know what I mean? Like, eat candy all the time, you don't like it, throw it. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I mean, so and I also want to ask you about I follow, your wife on Instagram. And
Yeah,
can you tell
babe.
us about her business that seems like
Yeah.
somewhere that Debbie and I would be customers of if we lived nearby?
Yeah, so Cosmic Palms is and it's on Instagram, Cosmic Palms. I follow them, y'all follow them,
Mhm.
so you can find it, listeners.
Mhm.
Cosmic Palms is a studio and practice where my wife, who is a multiple time certified Reiki practitioner,
Mhm.
and there's no real like school of certification for playing sound bowls.
Mhm.
You can get either of those things done with various like different augments, and she's also a pretty gifted reader of like aura portraits,
Cool.
which like a lot of people have a lot of things to say about all of those things.
Mhm.
But myself is like, a man of science. Say like at worst case, if you take a moment to be introspective, in the
Mhm.
case of the aura photo,
Mhm.
to stop and listen, in the case of a sound bath,
Mhm.
or to simply be held, in the case
Mhm.
of Reiki, um, chances are you're going to be better for that. Like,
Yeah,
Yes,
I
totally.
think
totally.
it's going to be like net positive. Like, that
Yeah.
does not sound like doom scrolling to me. That does
Right.
not sound like hard drugs.
Yeah.
Pretty much like everything that sucks, this is not.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't necessarily see how. I don't even see the neutral in it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's so anti-routine of what a
Mhm.
normal human routine is. And so Brooke's just like a facilitator of a breakup in your routine, and like
Mhm.
I'm not kidding you. When I'm on the sound bath, man, or when I'm in Reiki, she has this like pulsed electromagnetic frequency mat that you can opt to lay on. When she cranks that thing up, or is playing the sound bowls, man, I just go to a different realm. I dream in a different space.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe it, and I don't even know that I care to because
Yeah.
it's mine, damn it. And
Yeah.
I don't get to unlock that very often. And I also think she excels at creating uh an incredibly, when I say comfortable, I mean comfortable in every way, like not just safe. Like safe is like what? Like you could be in a cell that is safe, right? But like in it's almost like a nursery for tired people.
Yeah.
And we are all that.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually feel, and I've even watched people like that have been like, what do I do? What do I do? And she'll say, so you're gonna lay down and not.
Yeah.
And she doesn't say it like a jerk like I do.
Yeah.
She'll say it like
I'm sure she's like much better at it. Yeah.
yeah, beautiful, gentle way. But you know, she just really makes it absolutely legal for you to not,
Yeah.
and provide services that enhance your notness, in my
That's great.
opinion. And the things you can discover, the things that you can process, the ideas you may come up with, or the even just the rest that you will get, I think is better than damn near anything else.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
For
pretty
real
sure everybody
though.
wakes up to an alarm clock
Yeah.
99% of the time, you know?
I mean, I think that like a lot of these things, I mean, we're big fans of woo on this podcast. We're not
Yeah.
gonna talk crap on it at all. Is that like
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff, and like I was just like at this vacation where like there was like all these like wellness things there you could do, and there was like, there's Taoist stuff, there was like other stuff, whatever. And I think like a lot of these different traditions have been doing things that honestly like modern medicine is like just learning about now. Like you hear like modern medicine being like, oh yeah, like if you like calm your nervous system, it has these health effects. And it's like, yeah, people have been doing that, but you made fun of them for it.
Yeah.
Like I think
Yeah.
that it's like just like I don't think there's any way that it's like not good,
Yeah.
So
Unless you're just
opinion.
like drinking silver for the or whatever,
Yeah.
like those.
Yeah, as long
When it
as you're
gets to
getting
the culty
vaxxed.
thing, that's
Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that and this is like the Ouroboros, right? Like snake eating its tail. Like there's doing nothing. There's the ritual of doing nothing. And then there's like making the ritual a ritual to do nothing. And now you're doing something.
Yeah, right.
Right. And so like I think that this is just a very exciting time for her to be doing it, because we're always doing.
Yeah.
And even that is her doing. But she's actually started replaying a lot of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which I think is
Ooh.
her not setting an appointment to not do something. If that makes sense. She'll just like
Yes.
casually pick it up and like, yeah, I'm zoning out,
Yeah.
Totally.
So I think that's become like her woo-woo space. But I guess what I'm getting at here is that I think with everybody being so pressed and with wellness being shoved down our throats, this is literally like a hey, it's on Sunday and it's on Wednesday, and if you want to come by, come by, and if you don't, it's okay. And like there's no like membership, use them, you lose them thing. I mean, she damn broadcasts them for free on Wednesday nights on her Instagram. So you can put on a pair of really good headphones. And she's got a great podcast mic that picks up all the freaks.
Awesome.
I gotta do that because it's hard for me to leave the house since John works nights, but I can definitely put on some headphones and just do nothing.
Yeah. We're all always overstimulated, and we're looking forward to getting overstimulated more for TOC. Okay, we should definitely start wrapping up because it's about that time. But can we all share our dinners for tonight? Justin, if you know what you're gonna have.
Yeah, I do. So for Valentine's Day, we did a hot pot pop-up. And we have leftovers from the hot pot pop-up because we just like, I don't know if we overestimated the appetite of our guests, or we are simply so gluttonous that we simply provided what we would normally do for ourselves. But yeah, we have the leftovers for that. So we're going to turn that on after the kids in bed. And we're going to watch the newest Predator movie.
Nice.
Oh,
It's
cool.
excellent.
Awesome. Romantic.
Really?
It's
Yeah, I
fun.
love it.
The new Predator movies have been great. Like they're so fun.
Yeah.
Um,
What about y'all?
So I made last night, I made a Sunday gravy, which was
mhm.
delicious. We got farmer's market ground beef, farmer's market sweet Italian sausages. Just simmer the sauce for many hours, and I had some pappardelle.
Mhm.
And when I get off here, I'm gonna whip up a quick Caesar salad to go on the side of that for the leftovers tonight. And the sauce will be even better tonight, obviously, because it's been sitting in the Dutch oven all day. So very excited about that.
Very
That's the
nice.
Dutch.
Yeah.
And Debbie's in Philly, so
I'm in Philly. We made the mistake of, so it's a holiday weekend, long weekend, and we made the mistake of going, oh, this restaurant looks good on whatever. Let's not check any of the information if it's actually going to be open on this holiday weekend or not. So last night we like kind of, you know, fucked it up. But tonight we're hopefully getting there's this like pasta place that we're trying to get to. Um but the kids are at the pool right now, so
oh, awesome.
I don't want to interrupt that right now.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe that you're in a hotel room that you're staying with your kids and you have not had any interruptions this whole podcast. So that's
It's
impressive.
well,
Yeah.
there's a pool in the
Yeah.
hotel. So like
Yeah, a pool be doing that.
yeah.
I took the kid to the pool for the first time outside of a hotel, and
Uh-huh.
he's big enough for water wings now,
Oh,
Nice.
and it was insane. And not to dive in or make it about the kid, but this was just like a unique observation
Uh-huh.
that like I don't remember not being able to walk,
Hmm.
right? But he's like
totally.
surrounded by like other babies and stuff at daycare where like can't walk yet,
Hmm.
and he understands the concept that he has only been walking for like 2 years.
Yeah.
But then I like put the water wings on him. And he walked down a ramp
Uh-huh.
into the pool,
Uh-huh.
and then all of a sudden, like no feet,
Yeah.
And it's like I was like, "Hey, buddy," and he's like, "No feet," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
dude."
my Otis like really is not. He still sits on the stairs. Like
Yeah.
we keep trying to explain to him, like your vest is gonna keep you up. Like you're
Yeah.
not gonna sink, or we'll hold you. But
Uh-huh.
he's like third step. That's as far as I'm going.
Yeah.
But he loves it.
Sheena was like that until her newest round of swim lessons, where she
Yeah.
would not leave my arms, or she was like, I do not like that I cannot stand.
Yeah.
But now
Right?
that she's taken swim lessons, she's still in her swimmies, but now she'll like swim around the pool
Yeah.
independently. So it's yeah, she needed that for confidence though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love swimming.
Yeah.
Kid was freaking out. I don't know what it was, but he found this block floaty. It's like a block. I don't know what they're called. I just said block floaty. He's
Yeah.
like, "Daddy, it's cheese." And I said, "Okay." He like grabs the cheese, and we're in like a cordon off section while like the adults are swimming laps. It was a
Uh-huh.
mistake. I screwed everything up. And he chucks the cheese into the pool. He's like, "I'm a swimming mouse now." And I'm like, "What?" Like I don't understand this. And so like he would just chuck it and then swim to wherever it was and grab it.
Awesome.
And I was like, "Whoa, like you're not phobic of the idea that you're going under or anything at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're a swimming
That's
mouse now."
cool. That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Mice notoriously don't know how to swim. That's like a fishing thing. But I won't let him in on that yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note,
Yeah.
Well, Justin, thank you so much. We always love having you on. It's always so great to
Yeah.
talk to you. And we can't wait for TOC 7. Everyone tune in every week. Next week next week is the bracket reveal, so that'll be exciting. And
Mhm.
Debbie and I will post our brackets after that.
Mhm.
And then we'll follow along all season. And Justin, where can people follow you?
Eatfellowhumans across the board. Yeah, mostly though on Instagram these days.
Mhm.
That's really just kind of where I do my stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
Yeah.
will everyone watch Justin on TOC? I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you know that you should watch Justin on TOC. Please follow us at Moms of Flavor Town. And please, the most number one thing we would love for you to do is leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That would help us a lot. You can send us money on Buy Me a Coffee if you want. Link is in our bio on Instagram. And also, if you are mad at us, send hate mail to Debbie.
Yes, please.
Not to me. Do not DM me about what animals are called what.
Still to this day, my husband is the only person that sent hate mail.
Oh yeah, he said yeah. Debbie's husband sent fake hate mail to her to me, being like, "Tell Debbie she's too sexy and I hate it." And I'm like, "Stop it." Okay.
Wow.
Anyway, we love you, John. Okay, so
Yeah.
everyone, thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you next week. And I guess for now, it is time for us to
Go
go
for
for the
the protein.
protein. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Justin.
Yeah, of
Justin.
course, guys.
Okay,
It's not even like an ask, you know,
Oh,
oh,
which is probably why it wasn't like gun to my head in the calendar. You know
yeah.
what I mean? It's like something I was looking forward to, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
it's going to be even more exciting because you come in a few minutes into the episode, and it's like, what? You know?
Somebody
So
knocked at the door. Yeah, you
yeah.
got a pizza delivery. Like,
oh, we should add a door.
Okay, we'll tell Leif to add a door knock.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Wait,
you so much.